Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. It's a fine morning here. Today we're going to talk about performances of Ghanaian players abroad. As usual, I'm your host Selassie Fiawe, and our advice is to subscribe to this channel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell to get more updates as well. So over the weekend a lot of games went on, and last night the 25th round of fixtures came to an end with Liverpool drawing 1-1 with West Ham. Yes, so that set them back on their title race, and now they are just 3 points behind Manchester City, who will take on Everton on Wednesday with a chance to go on top with a win. Do you still think Liverpool can win this title? I am starting to have my doubts over them, but today it's not about Liverpool, it's about the Ghanaian players in action over the weekend. So let me just jump right into it. I'll start off with the English Premier League. Now with the English Premier League, Spurs took on Newcastle in the early kickoff on Saturday, and Christian Atsu was in action for Newcastle. Unfortunately for Christian Atsu and his teammates, Spurs found the next gear. Son Heung-min scored in the 83rd minute and gave Spurs the needed victory in that game. They won. Christian Atsu played 82 minutes for them, but he couldn't influence the game in any way for Newcastle United. To my next fixture is Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Yes, Crystal Palace took on Fulham on Saturday, and it was a great game for Crystal Palace in particular. They won the game 2-0. Jordan Ayew and Jeffrey Schlupp were in action. Ghanaian contingents there for Crystal Palace. They were in action on the weekend, and Dennis Odoi was in action for Fulham. Unfortunately for Dennis Odoi, he lost that game 2-0. He was in defense. He played full 90 minutes for Fulham. Jordan Ayew played 82 minutes, and Jeffrey Schlupp got an all-important goal for Crystal Palace. He got the second goal after Milan put them in front with a penalty earlier on, and he got that all-important second goal that ensured the victory. Based on that performance and that win, Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson has heaped praise on the duo and called Ayew superhuman. Yes, he's calling Jordan Ayew a superhuman. Let me read the article to you. It says, Jordan Ayew couldn't end his 5-game drought when his side Crystal Palace defeated Fulham in the Premier League on Saturday. Nevertheless, he earned praise from his coach Roy Hodgson, who went on to describe the 27-year-old striker as a striker with superhuman powers. The Ghana international lasted for the entire duration of the match and was a constant threat to the visitors, especially in the second half. Captain Luka Milivojevic and another Ghanaian, Jeffrey Schlupp, scored the goals for the Eagles, who moved further away from the relegation zone. This is what he said. For Ayew on all-round performance, it was his best. His work rate and efforts in the game at Southampton in midweek was fantastic. Hodgson was quoted as saying, in this game again, you see the man has superhuman powers in terms of the effort he puts in. Today I thought he succeeded with the ball as well. It was an incredible impact for him and also from Michi. That assist was good. We think he will be of enormous value to us in our attempts to stay in the league. Hodgson also has some kind words for Jeffrey Schlupp, who has taken his goal tally for the season to 4 so far. This is what he said about Schlupp. He said, I've always believed in Schlupp. I believe in him as a left back, I believe in him as a left-sided player, and I believe in him as a left midfield player in a 3. This is because he has a lot of qualities, and it's great if you are going to write something positive about him, because it's certainly backs up what we feel about him, and he's been a little hard done by. Funnily enough, in the area that he plays, that's where the competition has been strongest, he said. Palace will host West Ham at the Selhurst Park next weekend, and these are great words from the manager Roy Hodgson to the players. I'm happy for Jeffrey Schlupp and Jordan Ayew. They are finding their feet for Crystal Palace in time for the AFCON 2019. We hope they make the squad for that. So Reading took on Aston Villa in a 0-0 draw in my next game. Andy Adam played 90 minutes for Reading, and Albert Adoma played 74 minutes for Aston Villa. Now to my next game, Newcastle and Manchester United faced Leicester City. Yes, Manchester United faced Leicester City. Unfortunately, Daniel Amate is still not back. Hopefully by next month he should be back in action. But his team lost 1-0 to Manchester United. A Marcus Rashford goal and in the first half was enough to see Manchester United secure all 3 points. Now to my next game, it has to do with we moved to Spain, and it was Levante versus Getafe. Now Levante took on Getafe in a 0-0 draw. Unfortunately, Emmanuel Boateng was not in the 18-man squad that was named for the day, and Rafael Dramina was a 78th minute substitute for Roger, and they couldn't influence the game in any way. The match ended in a 0-0 draw on that occasion, and unfortunately for Rafael Dramina, he's still finding his feet. After I brought you a story on him being quoted as the worst signing for Levante, I think he has improved somewhat so far this season. Now the next game is Real Betis versus Atletico Madrid. Now Atletico Madrid had made a new signing in Alvaro Morata, and he was making his debut for them alongside Antoine Griezmann as the strike force. Unfortunately for Atletico Madrid, Real Betis beat them 1-0, and Thomas Partey was in action for Atletico Madrid. He could not help his team win as he did last week with with 2 assists actually last weekend. This time they went down to a defeat. Match ended 1-0. It was a surprise defeat, and it's a setback for them because they were chasing Barcelona, and now it's a real setback for them. To my next game is Real Madrid versus Deportivo Alaves, and Mubarak Wakaso was in action for Deportivo Alaves. It was not a night to remember for Mubarak Wakaso. His team did not do so well, and they were lost to Real Madrid 3-0 on the night, and Wakaso played the full 90 minutes, but he couldn't help his team to get any more than the 0 points they got. Now to my next game in Spain, and it's Barcelona versus Valencia. That was on Saturday night, and Barcelona drew 2-2 with Valencia. Yes, they drew 2-2 with Valencia. Kevin Prince Boateng was on the bench for Barcelona. He's yet to make his La Liga debut. He made his debut in the Copa del Rey, but in the La Liga he's yet to play a game for FC Barcelona. I'll let you know when that happens eventually. So to my next game is Empoli versus KWADWO Verona. A free aqua of Empoli is there for Ghana, and he was an unused substitute in this game. A free aqua did not take part in this game, unfortunately for Empoli. The match ended 2-0 in favor of Empoli and free aqua. Now Genoa took on Sassuolo. We all know for Sassuolo, Alfred Duncan is in action. Alfred Duncan was in action for Sassuolo. He played a full 90 minutes. It ended in a 1-1 draw. He didn't make any significant contribution for Sassuolo, and it ended in a 1-1 draw with Genoa. Now to my next game, and it's Udinese versus Fiorentina. In Udinese we have Nicolas Opoku in defense for Udinese, and he was an unused substitute in this game. It ended in a 1-1 draw with Fiorentina over the weekend. To my next game is Inter Milan versus Bologna. Yes, they took them on at the San Siro, and surprise, Inter Milan lost that game 1-0. It's really shocking. It's a shock result to me. I didn't expect Inter Milan to lose. They lost 1-0 to Bologna. We have Godfrey Dosa. He was an unused substitute. Kojo Asamoah was an unused substitute as well. And it ended in a 1-0 defeat to Inter Milan. So that's the front with Italy. I move on to Genk, and we all know Joseph Edu of Genk is in Belgium, Genk, and he was part of the defense that marshaled Was Beveren, and he helped his team win that game 2-1 against Was Beveren. Joseph Edu still doing his thing. I'm sure he will get a call up in the next friendly. Now the Black Stars will face Kenya in the last qualifier match, and I'm sure Joseph Edu will deserve a call up. So Fenerbahce also took an Botstepe earlier in the week, and Fenerbahce won that game 2-0. Andre Ayew scored in that game from a Roberto Soldado cross or shot, and he got the final touch into the back of the net for Andre Ayew. So that was it for Andre Ayew. And finally, to Kayserispor versus Yeni Malatyaspor. and Bernard Mensah was not in the squad. As we all know, ASAMOAH is an injured player for Kayserispor. He also was not included in the squad. So that has been it for today, guys. I've been bringing you performances of Ghanaian players abroad, how they are doing, how they did over the weekend, everything else involved. So let me know your thoughts. Who do you think was your top performer for the weekend? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. And do you still think Liverpool can win the league following what happened over the weekend on Monday night? There was a huge setback for them, and I don't know if they can recover. So that has been it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your day.